Happy NaNoWRIMO! Day one, so excited, so amped. All I can think about is writing, but I haven't had a chance to write because Wednesdays are my craziest days of the week. I observe at middle school from 7:15 to 2:30, and today I'm actually driving on my way to Boston, so I won't even get in until like 8, 9 o'clock tonight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have it in me to write. We'll see. But happy NaNoWRIMO. So far I've got 0 words. Typical. Nyla, are you excited? I caught up because I didn't write anything yesterday. Feeling optimistic. I'm writing some poems. Well, I'm deciding that I'm going to write like word vomit, and then I'm going to highlight chunks of words I like, and then I'm going to turn them into some poems at some point. Things are going well. Did about like 1,000, 1,200 words today. I think I've got some poems in there. It's kind of confusing. It's totally different than writing a novel. Basically what I'm doing is I'm free writing and then I'm going back and highlighting poems or like little lines and trying to transform them into a poem. So didn't get much writing done at all, but I had one of those like wake up with poem in my mouth kind of thing, so that's pretty cool. But I have much more time tomorrow to write. I'm feeling optimistic. But I feel like poems come and go really fast, whereas novels, like I need to really sit and write for a long period of time. Whereas like poems, I get them and then I lose them so fast, so. She's so camera shy. We're having such a snuggly Sunday. No writing has happened. Ooh, I gotta get on it. I gotta get on it. Wood. Oh. So the plus side is I'm home, which means I'm back in my routine, slowly. Downside, sick, that sucks, and I haven't written anything still. Oh no, so late, but I got it. Getting better, getting right on track. Wrote a lot, need to sleep a lot. NaNoWRIMO. Classic. Everything's pretty good. I wrote a bunch this morning, still like a little bit behind, but I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit with this one just because it feels like I don't get quite into a roll with it like I do with a novel. Like every day when I stop writing with a novel, it's like I know where, at least like I have a little cliffhanger somewhere I need to go with it. Now it's just kind of like, so technically I didn't write a lot today, but I was productive. Spent the night creating some cool, editing up my books a little bit, playing with them. So I figured out how to spill some awesome ink on top. Sorry, my sister's having a party downstairs. And had a lot of fun with the inside cover, and I will show you guys this in the video. Made little rules for myself, made myself an index, all that good stuff. And then I really went through and kind of highlighted potential poems with my midliner, my zebra midliner. So I was productive. I'm so excited. Finally, I'm on a roll. Barely took me like half the month to get up there, but I'm plugging through. It's freaking freezing in New York, and I promised my friends I would go into Manhattan. So I'm going to go into Manhattan even though I really don't want to. It's like hat, gloves, like full scarf, full regalia, like feels like January. It's already like, it's only 6 and it's like pitch black outside. November. It's nap time. But no writing has happened, but it will. A couple new things I've been learning is that if I write in script, it's helpful. It slows me down, which is helpful for poetry right now. I've been using my Pilot Metropolitan pen. Love it. Love it. I had a classic Tina temper tantrum. Tina temper tantrum. That sounds pretty good. A writing temper tantrum today, which basically means while I'm free writing, I am essentially stomping my hands and feet on the floor saying, why? I know every writer has experienced this ever, but it's so frustrating. So I pushed through, got some very mediocre poems out of me. But hey, it's NaNoWRIMO. Guys, I got like a little bit more than a page before I hit the finish line, and then I start my second book. Sick. I'm frustrated about it. I did some writing. I don't even know what's happening anymore. I need to sleep. So bad.
I've never been as hard on myself as I've been this NaNoWriMo with poetry. My strategy has been to sit with my poems every night and read them out loud. And I discovered that I like them about 1,000,000 times better than I give myself credit for. So, you know, that's good to know. And I'm wearing the same clothes because NaNoWriMo. It's such a beautiful rainy Saturday night and I had an epic writing session. Epic. Like, so many poems just happened. Reached the loopy stage of NaNoWriMo. Worked my butt off so hard in all areas of my life, and I'm crashing. I don't even know anymore. The poems are coming. Right, Nyla? Here's Nyla's butt. We're gonna go to bed. Oh my god. Didn't write. Going to bed. So I fell off the writing horse for 5 days. And I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. I didn't want to film because I needed to stop. I needed to regroup. I needed to get into my creative hole. So even though I feel some kind of artistic shame at the moment of like, oh, I didn't do enough. Right? Enough. I am not enough. I continue to try. I also really want to work on myself. Not beating myself up so much and not trying to force myself to be so productive all the time when sometimes I need to rest. I got in like about 1,000 words this morning, which is pretty good. I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. I got another 1,000 more to go tonight. Yesterday went really well. Feeling better and a little bit more optimistic. This really, though, has been my hardest NaNoWriMo yet. I've never been so down on myself creatively. Day 29 of NaNoWriMo, and I legitimately feel like today is the first day of the entire month where I am on a roll, where I am loving what I'm writing, where I'm not feeling this like pain and suffering in regarding to writing, which I don't normally feel, right? So I gotta let all of that go and just say this process is this process. I really feel strongly that the arts shouldn't come from a place of pain and suffering. And I'm all about, you know, using positivity and having just fun and play and light because it's writing and it's just fun, really. Like, but at the end of the day, like some processes or some births, so to speak, are really, really tough. And this just happened to be a really tough month for me and for writing in particular. And I have to honor it and call it what it is and be truthful to you guys because this is what I promise. Oh my gosh, I finished NaNoWriMo. Year 4! I did it. I really wasn't sure if this one was going to work out. Right, Nyla? And it did. I finished NaNoWriMo. This process was so hard and I hate that I feel like I complained this like whole video. It's so not me. But I really didn't want to lie. I didn't want to be like, yes, this is the breeze and I had such a blast and I love poetry. It was freaking hard. I feel like I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about love and I learned that I have a lot of work to do still on my own artistic process, embracing doubt, embracing fear, embracing, I don't know, just getting better at having fun with it and like letting go of the pressure. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on this NaNoWriMo because it was like year 4 and I should know what I'm doing and like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've never written a word in your life or if you've written everything or if you're like a published writer. It's always hard. Writing is just freaking hard. And that doesn't mean, but because it's hard, doesn't mean it has to be painful and, you know, gruesome and this like trudging through the muck experience, you know? And I feel like I really brought it down. I brought myself down a little bit. So the last page in here, I wrote basically an apology letter to poetry, to my poems. And I wrote an apology letter to like the creative spirit, essentially saying like, I am sorry for being so whiny and complaining this entire month. You know, I was so rough with it. And instead of just like embracing the fact that I had a great idea and, you know, some of my poems are really great, I just totally like abused them. So next steps for me is I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let myself just breathe for the next few days, maybe a week, and then I'm gonna go back I highlighted all my poems with a zebra midliner, so I'm going to go back and rewrite the poems onto index cards, do editing, and I think I'm going to put them all, you know, play around with orders and see like what fits into what, and then eventually I'm going to recopy them into like a little tiny book. I don't think I'm going to be able to share them with you guys just because they're really personal. It kind of feels like the thought of sharing my poems with you guys is literally like standing in my underwear on stage not knowing any lines. Like, it's kind of the same equivalent feeling. It's just so personal. Like, I don't feel confident in them at all. And maybe that'll change with time. And I try to tell you guys all the time to be confident in your art and to share it with me. And I know I'm being hypocritical. I recognize that. So maybe with some time, I'll see how I feel about them. But I just want to, you know, you guys to know, like, thanks so much for coming along with this journey. And I can't believe I did it. I barely made it. Like, it was literally hard till today. It's noon and I should have been at work like hours ago, but I just needed to finish. I needed to give these poems the time and effort that they deserve. So thank you so much for joining me on this creative process. I have to do another video talking about this because my thoughts are really jumbled right now and I need some separation. But you'll see that coming out. I think I'm going to call it "You Are Not an Artist," and you'll see why. Sending lots of love and creative fire to anyone who participated and to anyone who is just pursuing and pushing through the creative process, because it is freaking hard. And I admire you and I applaud you for that. So thanks for joining me. Peace.